What you need to do is you need to find some men that's teaching. And they got to love the Lord. Now here's my problem, because the men that he's going to choose are already in office, but not to this capacity. They already occupy a leadership, and they have men of 50s and 100s. They're over, some of them are over more than others. And what Moses says, or what his father-in-law says, you ought to bring them in and you ought to teach them the ways of God, so that now they can handle the lesser matters. Right. Oh, let me tell you something. That's not easy to handle the lesser matters, because the lesser matters are not exciting. People want to know things that's personal. People want to know things, where you been and all that stuff. And God is saying, no, you can't handle that. What you need to handle is the small issues, like where's the food? Right. What line I stand in? You need prayer, I'll pray for you. But there's some matters that only go to God first, only goes to the pastor, and then maybe to you. You got to know when people are in places that they're not supposed to be in, asking questions that they shouldn't be asking of you. Oh, I'm by myself anyway. Because boy, I tell you, when you start talking about, positions and things, people get a little bit nervous, because they think you're talking about them. No, it's just so many. All of them are doing the same thing. That's why it sounds like it's you, because it's many. You don't have a right to down people to other people and cause other people to feel different about them. That's not what God called you to do. People who know a lot of things about other people, especially from your mouth, is wrong. Amen. Let me move on. He says, listen to wise counsel. He says in verse 19, we're to listen to wise counsel. The Bible tells us every time we get in trouble, we're to seek wise counsel. He says, now, here's the deal. Teach them the ordinances and the laws, and show them how to live. Provide able men, one that know how to respect. Because what happens is, when you get the wrong people in office, you're going to get the wrong results. So Moses now, he listens to this advice, and Moses prays about this thing, and it is the will of God that this happens. So Moses now, he summons in the people, and he causes them to sit and to learn the ways of God. Now, here's the thing that happens when we start learning God's ways. You're going to see your ways. When you start comparing it to what God wants, you're going to begin to see that, wait a minute, I'm totally off. You're going to wonder why people can shout all the time but can't be consistent. Because they live by a different set of rules. You're going to look at why people can be so obedient to God but not obedient to each other. Right. And so it says, even with Isaiah couldn't see himself until he saw the Lord. And when he said, I saw the Lord, high and lifted up, it caused him to see himself. And let me tell you something, I don't care how much you try to tell a person what's going on, until they see themselves, you're just wasting your time. Until they see that they're arrogant and nasty, until they see that I'm out off base, until they see that I'm not doing the will of God, you're wasting your time. The best you can do for them is pray that God would open their eyes so that they can see themselves before they see others. The text is a whole lot of things in here that's disturbing. Because, number one, when he teaches them the laws of God and the ordinances of God, they then develop a different passion for people. You got to know God's heart in order for you to love God's people. You may master in Aries and Phileo love, but you may fail miserably in agape. Agape is a hard love. That ain't an easy love. Agape love is when you have the ability to love them despite what they're doing. That every time they find a way to hurt you or to do something to you, love finds a way to love. A lot of people tell you, I ain't there yet, then you shouldn't be in ministry. Because what happens in ministry is people are going to push you. I was at a service this morning. I went to church this morning. And I had a good time too. And the preacher was preaching, and he said, we want God to always move us instead of dealing with the people that's in your area. So we tend to leave church, get upset, don't come back, get upset, quit the job, go get another job. And he said, it follows you wherever you go. And what God is trying to show you is that until you deal with the knuckleheads that's around you, you will never get to a place where God can promote you. You'll never get to a place where God can use you because it has to be contingent upon how you feel about the place you're in. But when you mature, you understand that even in the midst of people who don't love God, let me shine. I'm not talking about shining so you can get patted on the back. I'm talking about letting your light shine so men may see your good works, but give God glory. So I want to tell you, you got to stop running and you got to handle small matters. God hasn't put on us more than we can bear. He doesn't ask you to do ministry where it's causing you to lose your life. So what is the problem with handling small matters? Big attitudes can't handle small jobs. Big-minded people can't handle small tasks. Big-minded people will never be on God's workforce because they won't listen to what God says. Give you a prime example. When God deals with the man of God, and he says to him, go and kill Saul. He says to Saul, go kill everything and bring me back what I've said and touch not, you know what I mean, the accursed thing. He comes back with the king and with animals, and he thought that I could change God's plan because I believe that these are better for sacrifice. But if you remember, God never told him to bring them back. He said to slay him. But the problem is, he's too big to do a small job. And when you start looking at over throughout the Bible, you'll find this consistently in the lives of men. You'll find Samson. Samson, I'm going to give you strength. Just keep the Nazarite covenant. Make sure a razor don't touch your hair. Don't you touch a dead carcass. And what did he do? He goes out and he gets the honey out of a carcass. He finds Delilah and loses his mind.
Come on, sir.
I'm letting that sink in. Some people are rolling their eyes like, Let me tell you something. At the end of the day, I don't care who you are. You got to stay focused on what the task is. You can't be sidetracked and not fulfill what God has called you to do. That's why the church is suffering now, because so many people are other places doing other things, and you're not handling the task that was given to you. You got to learn your lane and stay in your lane. So as I hasten on, he says to Moses, listen, you find these men. Moses taught these men. They began to see the things of God, and guess what it did? It helped with the administration. It helped now people who were standing in line, now they're able to get problems solved only because those who had received this appointment understood the boundaries. They understood that there are some things only Moses can handle. So when they tell them something that only Moses can handle, he has to trust them that they're going to say, hold it. We don't even want to talk about that. Let me put you in this line, because that's the only way it's going to get done. Now, I said that to say this. God has been blessing the church, and he's not an author of confusion. That whatever God does, he does decent and in order. And the problem is, we look at other people's giftings and talents and their abilities, and they do it so easy. When Kim gets up here and say, no sir, no ma'am, and she gets up here and she begins to minister, that's her. She can do that because she's anointed to preach the way she preaches. But I don't expect somebody else to stand up here and try to be what she is. And vice versa when it comes to any other minister. Because you've got to learn that you can only work in the realm that God has called you in. If you have a small measure, be the best at the measure you have. Don't try to be like anybody else. You know one thing I've learned? The best you can be is yourself. The best you can be is who God made you to be. And so as I close, Moses listened. And because he listened, teamwork, it worked. Because he listened, everybody else was blessed. All the church could only catch on to what God is saying. And he's given us different giftings, different talents, so that everybody won't be doing the same thing. If your gift or your talent is showing, then you ought to walk in it. But don't look over your shoulder at somebody else and try to do what they only can do. You got to learn, Lord, if you're going to use me in the areas that you anointed me in. Because if you use me, folk will get blessed. I'm telling you, the church can come at you from all areas. You got prayer warriors, you got encouragers, you got preachers, you got evangelists. And if we all find our positions and stay in them, the church would be better. Can I get a witness? If the prayer warriors will stop letting people who are practicing in prayer lay their hands, people will get better. If preachers would not get in the pulpit when God didn't call them, the church would be better. If members would love Jesus, the church would be better. Can I get a witness? So I come to tell you, can God trust you with small matters? Can he give you a job? Here, take this. That's all I need you to do. Can I close by telling you Joab was the greatest example? Here, Joab got a letter. All he has to do is give it to the boss. He says, listen, Joab, take this letter. David gives it to him. Says, when you get there, give it to the man in charge. Anybody ever read what was in the letter? Joab was taking his own execution, but he learned that if you trust God, you tell me, I'm just gonna do it. I found out there's some stuff you carry. I don't need to know what's in it. Just if God sends it, here it is. You're trying to fix everything down the pipe. There's some messages you don't touch. You just say it and keep it moving. Hezekiah or Isaiah goes to Hezekiah's house and tell him, get your house in order. You're gonna die. Can he trust you with just that word? Can he trust you to stay in your lane? Can he trust you to just operate in the ministry he gives? Jesus, I'm telling you, he learned whatever the master asks me, that's all I'm gonna do. They tried to get him off course. They said, Jesus, if you be the Son of God, command these stones to be made bread. Jesus said, no, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds